Things over in the world of Stellantis seem to be moving at a lightning pace, but when it comes to the Chrysler division, it's moving at a little bit slower speed. Instead of having 2 models in 26, we're no longer adding, but actually subtracting for 2027, although the Voyager always was very closely related to that Pacifica, essentially the same thing. And in this model year, we're also losing some of the powertrain models that we had in last year. So what do we have? Well, we have some updates, and those updates are actually worth noting, which is why we're here to talk about it. Let's talk about what it means for this year and what some of these changes might mean for Chrysler moving forward. We'll cover that at the end. Let's start up front because that's honestly where you'll find most of the visual changes to this vehicle. We have a new front fascia, and that also means with this new design, we get some new headlights. They're now projector headlights, so we'll have a little bit broader reach. We also have a new piano key design, at least that's what they're referring to it as. To me, it looks a little bit Hyundai-ish, but not in a bad way. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you're trying to draw another comparison though, this is where I have a bit of a difficult time because gone is the Chrysler logo as we know it. See these lights running across the front? They're not just for looks. This right here is that new Chrysler logo. It's a reimagining of the wings and it's a very tech-forward design. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about it on the Pacifica here, but I'm curious to see what it might be applied to in the future. The form here hasn't changed over the years, and that's probably the reason you're back looking at it, is that a minivan is one of the most practical vehicles you can buy in the entire world. But before we jump into its practicality, again, mostly unchanged, one of the few changes that you will see over the year is going to be what we've done here in the wheel design. We have a couple different wheel designs coming into 2027, and even though they are a pretty easy thing to change, in my opinion, they can go a long way to affecting the look of the vehicle, and considering all the changes we have up front and that new design logo, this, I think, does a really good job of wrapping that around, even though admittedly, it is just a wheel design. Of course, you can't get the black appearance package, which I'm pretty sure is what we have on this one, but the reason you're looking at a van is probably this door and the ease of function that it adds to your daily life. Getting in and out, super simple because a very small step. Honestly, one of my favorite things to do is sit here in a minivan, and looking back here, I can see either a 7 or an 8 passenger configuration. In this case, 7 seats. You'll find that in most of the Pacificas out there because the 8 passenger is going to be limited to some of the lower end trims, which now includes that Pacifica LX. And that Pacifica LX is going to be a little bit different than the other trims. Of course, we still have the Select, the Limited, and the Pinnacle, but the changes to the front end design won't carry over into that LX model. It also won't be available with all-wheel drive. That means that you can get a Pacifica starting at $43,490. Of course, all-wheel drive is still available on the other trims, and if ground clearance is something that's important to you, that's going to get you just a little bit more. The Pinnacle, though, the very top end of this without the all-wheel drive is quite a bit more than that LX, starting at $56,905. I'll show you all the other pricing though when we get to the very end. Today might have been the wrong day to wear a black shirt. It seems like I'm blending into the background here, but if you want to stand out, strong lighting is a good way to do it. And even though this hasn't changed from year to year, I think it goes really well with what we see up front. And for visual purposes, safety reasons, this is going to be a clear and obvious, hey, there's a vehicle here, and not doing anything extra fancy, although it is still a pretty nice look. Another thing unchanged is going to be the towing capacity. If you get the tow package, which neither of the units I have here today have, you can get up to 3,600 pounds of capacity, which would be the most in class, which means that you and your family can bring a little bit more with you. Maybe that's a small camper, maybe that's just cargo for all the extra stuff you may end up bringing with you. Of course, we have a roof rack here, and we have lots of room inside, but you will need to make some decisions when it comes to that. Do you want people or your belongings? Though loading things are going to be easier than ever because we now have an adjustable height rear liftgate here, new for this model year, which means that taller folks who need the extra space, it's always going to be there. But if you have a tight parking situation, you have a low-end garage or a spot that you often feel a little bit too close to, you can now adjust where this sits, and that should make things a little bit easier without one more thing for you to worry about. And when it comes to this total volume, it doesn't take very long to go from this to this. And even though it's not something you'll do every single day, it's nice to know that you have the van that in just a moment swaps from a passenger van to basically a full-blown cargo hauler. Under the hood, we're down to one option. That's going to be the 3.6 liter Pentastar V6 that we've seen in this and a lot of other vehicles within the product portfolio. 287 horsepower is no slouch, and it's almost 270 pound-feet of torque, made it to a 9-speed automatic transmission, and of course, either in front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, You get a choice unless you're getting that LX. This engine itself, there's nothing to complain about. My biggest complaint though is that it's the only one available. I really did like what the plug-in hybrid was, at least on paper, and how it affected you and your individual life is up to you. But of course, without a federal tax credit or any other incentive for green vehicles moving forward, that does seem like a reasonable loss, but means that there are no plug-in hybrids in the minivan segment anymore. That was one where the Chrysler stood out completely on its own. Let's hop here in the Pinnacle trim. These screens aren't going to look very different, although I'll come back to them because there is a worthwhile update. The biggest change for me, at least in this trim, is going to be the exclusive blue agave interior. And I know the light in here is tough. I'll see if I can get a better shot of it for you. But not only is this a really nice blue to look at, it also has a nice copper accents, not just there in the piping, but you'll also find it here in the stitching, and you'll also find it in accenting pieces around the vehicle, although that looks a little bit more metallic than what we get here in the piping and stitching. The layout of everything has stayed the same, but when I mentioned the screens earlier, there has been a significant change when it comes to the packaging. This is going to be the upgraded 10.1-inch Uconnect 5 display, but it used to be tied to the screens in the back. That meant to get the updated display, charging ports, sound system, and of course, passenger seat, you had to get these rear screens. And I, for one, am not a big fan of those. I prefer a tablet. Now, if you want the theater package, theater means these screens, and the family tech group gets you just about everything else. So while there hasn't been a ton of change to the interior, how you experience it or how you order it, and honestly just getting what you pay for and only having to pay for the things you want, I think is a big plus. If you like these updates, have a Pacifica that's coming due maybe on a lease, or you're adding to your family and looking to add to your garage, these will be available starting in the summer. So expect them very, very soon. Hopefully more sun than snow here moving forward. Starting at $43,490 is where that LX trim starts. That was last year's Voyager, now this year's Pacifica LX. If you want to bump up to the Select trim, $46,450, but quite a bit is added to that, including that new front end look. From there, you can go to the Limited for $51,700, and all the way at the top is going to be the Pinnacle. Of course, at the top, $56,905. Though those last three are all not including the all-wheel drive upgrade. Of course, they do include destination. All-wheel drive is about a $3,300 option. So if you want a fully loaded Pacifica, you're looking at just over $60,000, but you are getting quite a bit of vehicle. The only downside for me really is the fact that even though streamlined isn't always a bad thing, I do wish we still had that plug-in hybrid option, or that they were doing something big and different for this year, which means for me, there has to be something on the horizon. Obviously, Chrysler has not been nearly as active as its other Stellantis counterparts, and this has been the stalwart. What happens next, though, is what I'm most curious about. We do have a new badge, so it seems like it hasn't been completely forgotten. My question is, what's next? If you have a guess, let me know down in the comment section, and stay tuned for all of our other coverage of the New York International Auto Show. Until next time, I'll see you down the road.